Yo, what's up, everybody? You're tuned into Let's Talk About It with Cha-Cha and the unstoppable Run It Back crew. Get ready for high-octane discussions, epic stories, and non-stop energy. Let's get it started.
All right, America, y'all know what it is. It's time for another episode of Let's Talk About It.
Who comes out a winner? Me. Griffin once again. Undefeated champion of the world.
The greatest of all time. So let me just start off by saying, this is my first episode for the new season. I've been away, been out of town for the last few weeks, so I'm glad to be back in the fold with the with my running back crew.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah, man. I've been to was in New Orleans last week for a conference. Had a great time there. Ate good. But, it's always no place like home. So, I'm glad to be back and in the mix with you guys. And so, I do have a story. Now, the story that I have today, it's not new. It's not new. Actually, it's been on, social media outlets. I found it on X. I found it on Instagram. I found it on other platforms, YouTube and all that. But I don't think that it really, it's from 2021. And so somehow it's resurfaced, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. So let me ask you all, how would you feel if you were sentenced to 35 years for killing your spouse, and 20 years later, that spouse reappeared alive?
I would be fucking pissed.
I
would be livid. First, I'd be pissed, mainly to make sure, what exactly happened?
Yeah.
And then I'd be pissed at the state. I'd be like, y'all motherfuckers owe me some money.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed at that bitch, because where the fuck you been at? And I've been all on TV, all on social media. You ain't said
there's a lot to it, because it happened in 2000. It happened in 2000.
Damn.
So
pre 9/11.
So he was set free in 2021. So I'm going to get into it. So in 2000, a man named Marcus Holloway, at the time he was 28 years old. He had a wife. Her name was Sarah Holloway. She was 25. And they had, a couple of kids. They were married, nice little, family in Chicago. He was a mechanic. And so one night he comes home from work and his wife is nowhere to be found. He's looking all over the crib. He's looking everywhere, high and low, and that he can't find her. And so, so he looked all over before he called 911. And so he eventually calls 911, and it quickly turns from a missing person to him becoming a suspect. Yeah. And it's real funky how it happened for him. It's a travesty of justice. So they found her 50 feet away from the crib.
Where?
She was there, in the neighbor. The neighbor kidnapped her. And put her in a soundproof room.
for 20 years.
For 20 years, he tortured her, and he physically and emotionally abused her. Told her that her husband and kids were dead, and he was supposed to have been saving her from her husband.
Wow.
And so it happened. Let's see. On the morning of July 18th, Marcus came home around 6:30 a.m. So he must have worked the night shift.
Right.
And he searched every room before calling 911. Within hours, detectives were on the scene. But what started as a missing persons investigation quickly turned darker. The neighbor's name is Robert Keller. So the couple, they were African American.
Yeah.
And he was an older white male. He at the time he was 55. 55. Either 54 or 55.
He wanted some chocolate monkey.
Didn't he?
What's so funny?
Oh, nothing.
The
Just
chocolate
Hey,
monkey?
boy, hey,
Yeah.
boy.
all that shit.
Every time I get that work, boy, yeah, get that work. There ain't nothing like it. Anywho, so
Get your minds out of the gutter.
yeah. Welcome back, Charles. Welcome back to the third season. So,
By the way, happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, for you all that don't know America, I did serve 4 years in the military. I was actually a dental assistant. Loved it. I partied in the dirty South. Dirty. They don't call it dirty for nothing, boy. Ooh, I was down there doing well. Anyway, let me get back to the story. But yeah, appreciate that, man.
Any
I ate
veterans
good.
out there as well.
Yeah.
Any of your brethren out there.
Yeah, I got a couple
Happy
friends.
Veterans
We
Day.
ate. We did some things. We ate for free at a couple of places.
And that means all the veterans that are not with us and with us.
Yeah. For all the that are no longer here. Yeah. Shout out to them. Shout out to all the veterans because I actually ran across a few. Dwayne.
Yeah.
I ran into him at my post.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was at airborne school. Where in Fort Benning, Georgia, they had an airborne jump school when he was going to airborne school, and I was already there. It was my permanent duty assignment.
So did you know him before the military, or?
Yeah, we went to high school together.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We went to. I knew Dwayne when we was little, man.
Okay.
And, I've been knowing him a long time, and I went to the military before him, and he had just got out of basic and was going to airborne school. He jumped out of planes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was on my lunch break and he was going into, they had a Burger King on post, and they had like a little mini PX, like a deli cafe store type place, and they had Hot Pockets before Hot Pockets. These pizza things. I used to get a sausage ring, and Dwayne's bow-legged, and I look across and I see somebody and nobody walks like him.
How you bow-legged and you jumping out of the plane?
And I call him and he was Dwayne could rap. He had a little rap group.
Yeah.
He called himself Slimmy D. And so Dwayne ain't number 30 fluid ounces.
Right.
And so I look over and I go, Slimmy. And it was around this time. It was around Thanksgiving because he said he was depressed about not going. They gave him a choice to go on to airborne school, and he was depressed. I got him towed down. I took him to my brother. I got him ripped. But anyway, back to the story because this is a really good. This all right. This is a good story. But it's always good to reminisce about my military days.
Yeah.
But I still keep in touch with a few.
Oh, yeah.
I visit a few in Chicago. I mean, in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Come here, yeah. So, where was I? Okay, so so he called 911. The detectives came, but it quickly turned from missing persons to him becoming a suspect because the neighbor, the actual kidnapper, lied on him. Lied on him and said that he heard arguing at the house. And also, when they searched, they found her keys and some of her articles of her stuff in his toolbox in the garage.
Wow.
Planted. Later on, found out they were planted by
The neighbor.
himself. Yeah, this was calculated. He did this intentionally. And so that's all the evidence that they had. It's all circumstantial.
That's all they went on.
That's all they went on. They had no body. They didn't have a body. They didn't have
Evidence.
a witness evidence. Yeah, evidence. They didn't have anything. And so
It's how they just jump into murder.
Keys in some articles.
guess how long it took them to arrest him? 3 days. This is Chicago. The year 2000.
Yeah,
3 days.
They're known for botching everything.
Yeah, 3 days.
It's almost worse. It's the three main worst police.
We've heard about the interrogations taking teenagers, underage, and not calling their parents and forcing them to be up or wide awake for 24 hours and shocking them and all that, forcing them into a false testimony.
That's just as bad as the LAPD and the
There's
the NYPD.
This has got to be the worst though, because he actually had to go to trial and so the prosecution, like we said, they didn't have a body, no weapon, no physical evidence. linking him to the crime at all. But they had a narrative, and that was enough for them. Just a narrative. Prosecutors painted Marcus as a jealous husband who snapped. They claimed he disposed of Sarah's body somewhere between his night shift and morning. When Marcus insisted on his innocence, the lack of remorse only hardened public opinion against him. And see, now that part right there, the lack of remorse, I highly agree with that, because how can they say lack of remorse if you say it just because you say I'm innocent? That's not a lack of remorse. That's just me saying I didn't do it.
Like,
so
if you know you didn't do it, you know there was no murder attempt. Yeah,
be like, you're not gonna railroad me, and then be like, why don't you?
Yeah, you know you.
Oh,
did
you
it.
just want me to bust out in tears. I didn't do it.
Yeah. And I've seen so many cases like that, like that. Your lack of remorse, is I don't understand.
But I didn't do it.
Exactly. The judges will say that, and just because you're found guilty and I'm still, professing my innocence, doesn't mean I need to show remorse, especially if I'm standing here pleading my case and saying you got the wrong man.
Yeah, I did not do it.
I didn't do it. So yeah, I think that is unfair bias.
Yeah.
Even for a court of public opinion.
Yeah, right.
Because they're already, like I said, I don't understand how you can, well, of course, if the prosecution paints that picture of you, and he's black.
Yeah.
So he's an angry black man. And, there's a stereotype that if we're jealous, we're capable of that, beating our women, especially in 2000. The cell phones and all that, how they capture stuff now, they're high tech now compared to 2000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
definitely.
It's a lot, but so they're only getting what the prosecution is putting out there.
Yeah, they probably just heard he murdered his wife. Put him in jail.
Yeah,
Lock him up. Throw away the key.
And how could you form a story of him being a angry, jealous? She was a stay-at-home wife.
Right. He was like, I know. When I left for work, she was home cooking dinner
for the kids. And you had to get them. And the thing is if jealous of who, they're not even naming names.
Right.
They're not even saying that he was accusing her of having an affair. None of that. Because they didn't need it. All right, so let me go on because, because the more you go, it makes you even more upset. But let's cut across the field. So, they painted him. They claimed he disposed of the body between his eyes, but he still said he was innocent. The lack of remorse only hardened public opinion against him. His public, he couldn't afford a lawyer, so he had a public defender. Failed to challenge Keller's testimony. That's the neighbor. That's what you do. That's your job. But that's why the public defenders get a bad rap, because they don't. Yeah. They half-ass do their job. But you're supposed to challenge that some kind of way. So, and even with the evidence that they found, like her article of clothing, why wasn't fingerprints taken from that? Yeah. And if they did, they probably, didn't bring that to the light. So he didn't challenge the testimony even after inconsistencies surfaced. The jury deliberated in less than 6 hours. It took them less than 6 hours to find this man guilty of second-degree murder.
Yeah, that's messed up.
No evidence, not a body, nothing. He got 35 years.
You need to deliberate a little bit more with that one. Like that, you literally having somebody's hands and the balance of somebody's life in your hands. Like, you need to do better.
And he's telling you he didn't do it, and that's all he can tell you. And not only that, he has an alibi. So they just said somewhere between you coming home from work and you being at work, somehow you was able to come home and kill your wife and go back to work.
Bam.
You must have did it on your lunch break. But that's crazy. That's all they had. That's all they had. Somehow you had to have done it while you was at work. That's all they said. Somehow between work and home, you came home and disposed of the body.
Like, I didn't even leave on my lunch break.
Anybody can say that.
I didn't even leave on my lunch break.
Man. I do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And I got, I got coworkers that can vouch for me. Where's all of this?
Right.
This is horrible, man.
Yeah.
But All right. So this happened in 2000. So now she's legally declared dead in 2007. It took them 7 years. Yeah, they went ahead. I don't even know if they really searched for the body. So he tried to appeal. It went nowhere. He spent 20 years maintaining his innocence, writing letters to journalists, the Innocence Projects, anyone who would listen. Most never wrote back. And see, I'm surprised that the Innocence Project didn't take this on because this case is bullshit. I mean, there's nothing about this that's fair. There's
a capital B and a capital S.
There's nothing about this that's fair. This is an easy slam dunk. Like, no, we gotta take this on.
You might as well add 3 exclamation points on the bullshit.
So now, meanwhile, the Holloway's neighbor, Robert Keller, lived quietly next door, known as a helpful handyman he kept to himself, aging into a familiar, harmless figure in the neighborhood. No one ever thought to look inside his basement. Yeah, he's that guy. Can you come over and change my light bulb? Check. You fix something. Fix this, fix that. Now check out how this is crazy because this is crazy. She's very lucky. So in the fall of 2021, on October, police were called to Keller's home after a neighbor requested a wellness check. Keller, now 67, so he was like I said, it was 20 years, so he was 57 at the time. Well, it's 2021, he was 50.
47.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Bad math. Another failure for the public education school
46
system.
or 47. Yeah, he was in his late 40s.
Yeah, because it's 2021 now. Yeah. It says, so now 67, hadn't been seen in several days and mail was piling up. When officers went through the back, they found him collapsed in his kitchen, dead from an apparent stroke. The man died. That's the only reason why she had the opportunity to be found, because he died of a stroke, and nobody and so that's a blessing for her, because he was a loner. He was a loner, and because just imagine if he'd just had a friend, because he could have had company. They would have never known. She was in a basement in a soundproof booth. She tried to scream before she, for a while, but you couldn't hear nothing. He was a handyman. He could have just had a friend that could have gotten him to the hospital and, got him, so it was his time. It was his time to go. It was his time to go. And so, they found him collapsed in the kitchen, dead from an apparent stroke. As they cleared the property, one officer noticed something odd in the basement. A metal storage shelf bolted into the wall, concealing what looked like a reinforced door. So that sounds like a shelf maybe that could slide in. He was probably sliding her stuff or whatever, like they do if you've ever been to jail. You got a little slide, they'll slide your tray in there. And, I ain't saying that I seen movies. I'm just saying. But concealing what looked like a reinforced door. Behind it was a soundproof room, roughly 10 feet by 8. 10 feet by, that's a small room. That's a jail cell. Well, I'm not saying I've been to jail, but I'm just saying I've heard the jails are 8 by 8. I'm just saying I've heard. Inside, lying on a thin mattress, was a woman. Pale, malnutritioned, her hair streaked with gray, but alive. When officers asked her name, she whispered, Sarah Holloway. Investigators later determined that Keller had abducted Sarah the night she disappeared. Evidence from the hidden room suggested she had been kept captive ever since. You think 20 years?
No.
She's in her malnutrition.
Yeah, you don't pronounce this woman dead and everything.
Yeah, man. Keller had constructed the chamber years earlier, wiring it with its own ventilation system and soundproof padding. Inside were cans of preserved food, a small bathroom setup, and notebooks filled with disjointed ramblings, including entries detailing how he saved Sarah from her husband. So he's thinking he's saving her life. For what? So forensic analysis confirmed what Marcus had claimed all along. The wallet and keys used to incriminate him had been planted in Keller's It had been planted. Keller's fingerprints overlooked in 2000 were later matched on the recovered items. His fingerprints was all over the shit.
Wow.
Sarah told detectives that Keller had attacked her outside of their home as she took out the trash that night. He'd struck her, dragged her to his basement, and kept her there, convincing her over the years that Marcus was dead, that her children were gone, and that no one would ever believe her. Man. When the truth broke, the story dominated national headlines. Marcus Holloway was exonerated and released in November of 2021 after 20 years behind bars. His first words were simple: I just want to go home, wherever that is now. Reuniting with Sarah was both miraculous and painful. She was physically frail, emotionally scarred. Their children, now adults, struggled to reconcile the truth after decades of believing their father was a murderer.
Man,
see that I don't understand either. But I mean, I kind of can, and I'll get into that after, because I'm gonna wrap this up. The state of Illinois later issued a formal apology, and they got he got a $12.4 million settlement, one of the largest wrongful conviction payouts in the state's history.
I need a settlement,
man.
But for Marcus, no amount of money could return the years stolen. Oh yeah, shoot yeah.
Plus more.
Yes,
for real.
Or I would give some to the kids and everybody, because they,
kids need to be set up for life.
You fractured the family. This whole time my dad's been locked up, and I haven't talked to him, and I've talked crazy about him, thinking that he actually did it. See, so it has since become a landmark of examples of systemic failure, from police tunnel vision to prosecutorial negligence. The Chicago Police Department reopened more than a dozen similar cold cases for re-examination, citing lessons learned from the investigation. See, that's crazy. So they're like, you know what, if this happened here, we're going to have to reevaluate re-examine some of these cases.
Yeah, how many other people have been convicted with zero evidence?
Zero evidence.
None. That's wild.
That's crazy. So they've only did one interview since, and they're not living in Chicago. It says that
I bet not. I'd be getting out there too.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't going back. So they live. It says that I'm out of here, please. Marcus and Sarah now living quietly in southern Illinois, far from Chicago. They've spoken publicly only once, in a brief interview where Marcus said people had asked him, if he was, people have asked me, am I angry? I'm not. I'm grateful she's alive. That's all that matters now.
That's true love right there.
Man.
Yeah.
Sarah's eyes filled with tears as she added softly, I used to pray he'd forgive me for believing what they said about him, but he never stopped believing in me. The story isn't one of redemption alone. It's a warning and a testament to how fragile truth can be when fear and assumption take its place, and how sometimes monsters live right next door.
Man,
that's crazy.
That's wild.
That
crazy.
You know what?
Story.
That's wild.
I'm surprised that hasn't been made into a movie.
Man, that'd be
honestly,
that's more money.
Either that or Evil Lives Here or something on one of these shows or something.
I know. Like I said, I mean, it was just. I mean, it's just been, and that's probably how it came back out again, because it's October. It's like the anniversary of his release, in October. So, that's that, and maybe they just want to put it behind them. But I mean, it's only been 4 years now. Yeah, 2025. Yeah. That's crazy. Just think, man. You could. I mean, you just can never think. And so I want to say this as far as the kids feeling like that the dad did it. Yeah. I don't know. I can't really say for sure. I don't know what type of relationship that they had with their dad, what type of dad he was. We know he worked third shift. So, they when he was gone, when they were, I don't know how they might have been in school while he was home, and then, he got to see him for a little bit, and then he went on to work. But you could tell that they had a stronger bond with their mom and not him. Yeah. Right. And that's a very common thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially at that age, to be told to be told this is what happened. Because you don't know justice. Nothing makes sense. All you know is that your mom is gone. And so somebody's telling you that he killed her and disposed of the body, and then no telling if her parents were alive, the mom, what the relationship was like for him and his mother-in-law. This is her perfect opportunity. Your dad wasn't shit, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but something had to happen for them to not want to support him at all. Just disown him like that.
And I mean, honestly, with me being married, now, just not being married with, not having kids yet, because I can't speak on that yet. And I said yet. But just being married, if I didn't kill my wife and people couldn't believe me that I didn't, like, I'd be heartbroken on that. Like, I just, like, there'd be no way. Like I told, it's like me and Tamara talked to each other about it the whole time. Like, I was like, I can't be one of them people that if it ain't with me, it ain't nobody else type situations. Right. If it ain't with me, it ain't with me. Real talk.
I'm not ready to
like,
give up my life.
Yeah.
Or, my freedom and all that. If you don't want me, then cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want in my life is for anybody to be around me that wants to be somewhere else.
But even having your kids believe it, that it was true.
Yeah, like it was possible.
Yeah, that would hit me in the soul. You know what I mean? Like that would be the type of thing that I would just be. It'd just be.
And they get old enough, as after a while, there's some. You get old enough to learn and know common sense to be like, well, they didn't have a weapon. They didn't have this.
Body.
They didn't have anything.
But they're probably like, man.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And
where are they from?
It was probably
Chicago.
It's probably easier for them to just believe what they were being told. Because like in the big picture, you're like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? Mm-hmm. They already said this, like case closed type shit. It was like, going to reopen the case on what? And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I believe he was let out maybe... Well, it said he was. I think they exonerated him 48 hours after.
They had better.
Yeah.
Shit, I'd be like, get me out of this month right now.
Yeah, if she's alive. She ain't no question.
That'll show you how slow the state is.
Right.
Oh, man.
It didn't work for me.
2 days to let you out.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, but so that's all I have for my first episode of the new season for Thought of the Week.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. And I actually found it like 3 weeks ago. I was down in Tennessee. Yeah, I've been on the road, America. Before I went to New Orleans, I went to Clarksville, Tennessee for 2 weekends spent some time with my family.
I know. If you ain't noticed, there ain't been no Sports Chicky Lounge here lately.
Yeah, we're gonna get back on that though. We got a lot to talk about. So. But yeah, once again, I look forward to bringing more stories. We're gonna and this new season. I still, like I said, when the season ended, for us, I do have a prize, and hopefully I'll get to share that with you all on a live. When we're doing a live recording, I do want to bring it to the surface. It's a really good prize, so. You all tune in for details in the next coming weeks. And that wraps up my segment, and I'm out. Peace.